Hi Cancer, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2021 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and I'll pull an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. Well, we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that'll go. So let's see what we get. Alright, so we have Capricorn, so that's actually our opposite sign, so there might be a focus on your partnerships and contracts in November. We have the Sun, and the Sun basically for most of November is going to be in Scorpio, and then it's going to actually move into Sagittarius toward the end of the month. And we have 1. So first house, that would be you guys. So there could be a lot of focus on yourselves, your partnerships, and with the Sun, creativity or work, but we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. Alright, in the main situation position, we have the 10 of Cups, which is Pisces energy, and the 8 of Swords, which is Gemini energy. So these two energies in general tend to conflict with each other, Pisces and Gemini energy, but then on top of that, you could just see the contrast in the artwork of these cards, right? So really what comes to mind looking at these two cards is to say that I feel like this is saying that if you guys broaden your horizons, I feel like you'll be able to expose yourselves to a more happy environment than what you're currently in. And with the 8 of Swords here, I feel like this is saying that there might be a fear around doing so, so you might be in one of those ruts where you might be a little bit complacent with where you are, so on the one hand you might hope for more, but at the same time you just kind of fall back into the comfort where you're currently at. And this is saying that there is actually more of what you're looking for out there, but you just might need to actually broaden your horizons to actually expose yourselves to it, or even just believe that it's out there, right? Because we see she has the blindfolds on, so it could just be saying you guys might just be stuck in your head, maybe losing a little bit of faith. And could just be saying that if you broaden your horizons this month, maybe even get out and travel if you can, you'll actually be exposed to a happier environment. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Star. So the Star in the upright would definitely be a positive thing in a normal position, but with it coming up in the challenge here, what this could just be saying is you guys, again, I feel like this is saying that there could be a bit of a lack of faith on your part. Now the Star does come after the Tower, so that could be a big part of it. Maybe you guys went through a Tower moment recently, and you're just at that point where it's still a little bit raw, right? Maybe the wound isn't fully healed yet, and you still might be having a little bit of trouble wrapping your minds around why it took place, right? Usually Tower moments are for our better good, but it might take us a while to actually feel that, right? So that could just be where you're at right now. So it could just be saying that whatever took place, if something was taken from your life recently, looks like it's saying that was definitely for the greater good, but you just might not have been able to see that just yet. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 6 of Wands. So this is Leo energy here. Usually represents an energy of victory. Could just be as simple as recognition. For example, I usually point out to people, it could be as simple as, let's say, if it was your birthday, it could be people wishing you a happy birthday, right? It doesn't have to be anything major. But this does look like a energy of you guys getting some kind of recognition, and given that for you guys, Leo energy is your second house too, this could just be saying that you might see some improvement around your finances, maybe making some strides there. And I will say, at the time of recording this, we haven't had that full moon in Aries yet, which is in your 10th house of career and social status, so there might be some positive movement with that too. All right. In the past position, we have the 9 of Wands. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here. So yeah, for some of you, this can be around a work situation for sure. Maybe you've just felt like you've been taking on a lot of work, and you might just feel like it never stops, right? And you might not even understand. You might have lost sight of what the goal even was at this point, right? Could just be one of those situations. If that's the case, again, like I said, given that at the time of recording this, we haven't had that full moon in your 10th house yet, could just be saying that it's going to help alleviate that pressure in that regard. But yeah, it could just be saying that for a lot of you, your work, maybe even health, fitness routines, you name it. There's plenty of ways that this could be going that You just feel like, okay, when's the next shoe going to drop, right? So you might just be feeling a little bit overwhelmed at this time. In the present position, we have the Ten of Swords. So seeing this in the present, that could explain why we said, right, maybe there is this bright horizon for you guys, but you just might not be feeling like it's out there just yet. And this might be why, right, if you guys are feeling that Ten of Swords experience right now. Now, I will say, especially given the cards we see around it, right, this is basically the only dark card in the spread for the most part. I feel like this is saying that you guys will be coming out of this, though. So whatever the situation was, it does appear to be coming to an end for you guys. And again, it could even just be being stuck in your head around the situation, because for you guys, Gemini energy is your 12th house. So you could have that tendency sometimes to really think through something often, right? Where people might view that as you guys being indecisive in a way, but they got to understand you guys have Gemini in your 12th house. So a lot of thoughts go through your mind at any given moment, and you want to make sure you make the right move. So that could be part of what contributes to the way you do move sometimes, but that's why I see there. It looks like it's coming to an end for you guys, though. All right. In the near future position, we have the Nine of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here. And on the one hand, this could say that this could be another indicator that you're not at that Ten of Cups point yet, right? But the Nine of Cups is always a good sign to see, especially if the Ten of Cups is somewhere in the spread, because it's saying that you're coming to that realization. To me, the Nine of Cups in the positive form could represent seeing yourselves as valuable, right? Knowing what you bring to the table, and then that tends to draw more things your way. So this could just be the energy that you guys would be stepping into. Like I said, maybe you guys are just going to be getting out of your heads around a certain situation, and this is going to help you as far as that journey that we were talking about there to the Ten of Cups, and with the Star card, seeing that whatever has left your life recently was actually for the better good. So it looks like you guys will be adjusting to that this month. All right. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Two of Cups. So this is Cancer energy here. Great card to see in your position and your influence, because this is saying that you guys are going to be coming through at your best too. So obviously that's going to help things around you flow more smoothly too, especially if you guys have your main Cancer placement between 1 and 10 degrees, because that's what this card represents. And it could just even represent finding that balance within yourselves, right? Because obviously we tend to look at this artwork and you think of love relationships and meeting another person, but sometimes you could even see it as the integration of the masculine and feminine within yourselves, right? Coming to that balance there. And, but yeah, this looks like a meeting of the minds if this does represent connecting with another person, or like I said, for you guys, integrating both sides of yourselves and being able to flow more fluidly from there, which is obviously a good thing for water sign. I will say in November, you're going to have the sun in Scorpio, like I said, for most of the month. Mars is going to be in Scorpio, and Mercury is going to be in Scorpio. So a lot of energy going through Scorpio, which is your 5th house, which could point to romance, creativity. So that's definitely going to spark a bit of a revival in you guys, I'm sure. All right, in the environment position, we have Page of Pentacles and the World. So this could just be pointing to what we're seeing here in general, which is to say, there's something that might still feel like it's a little bit out of your reach, right? With that pentacle we see there, it's not quite in his hands. But I feel like this is saying that you're really close, especially with the World card there. So like I said, whatever this situation is, where maybe you haven't been looking at it in a way that helped move you forward, could just be saying that something might click for you guys this month that actually helps you see, okay, this is actually what this was meant to move me toward, right? What I was meant to learn from this situation, and actually get that forward momentum. And then with that completion, you'll actually get what you felt was out of reach up to this point. If this is around someone else too, where maybe if your part of your difficulties was you felt like someone in your environment was withholding something from you, whether it be an employer, right? We talked about how this could play out in a positive way around your finances. If it was a romantic partner, a family member, friend, you name it, where you felt like they might have just been not giving their all necessarily in the situation, with the World card underneath this too. I feel like this is saying that that'll come to light for them as well, and that'll actually help move things forward in a positive manner too. So pretty good either way, whether that's pointing to your energy or someone else. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Three of Swords, Libra energy, and the Page of Wands. So I'm going to assume that for 99.9% of you, this is probably not a hope, right? So it's probably going to lean more toward the fear side. So that could be part of what's prevented you guys from moving forward too. I mean, for what it's worth, at the time I'm recording this, we're just wrapping up that Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra, and it's going to be in those degrees. So that's your fourth house too. So that it could have brought up some things. Of course, yes, especially when people see the artwork here, they tend to gravitate toward thinking about romantic relationships, and that is the energy that Libra naturally rules. But for you guys, it's your fourth house too. So it could have just brought some things up from deep in your past that you might have just had some fears around. But with the Page of Wands here, this is definitely the hope side of that energy, right? Which is to say you're hoping to put that all behind you and actually be able to move forward this month. And it looks like, from what I'm seeing for the majority of the cards, you will be able to do so this month. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Strength card, which is Leo energy, and the Queen of Swords, which is Libra energy. So with the Queen, with the Strength card, we do see the feminine energy. She's holding that lion's mouth closed. So to me, that usually represents holding back a little bit, right? So whether it be on a more negative sense, your ego, or just letting yourselves just get a little bit too over enthusiastic about something. Feels like this is saying you're going to take a very measured approach, right? So you'll still have that passion there, the enthusiasm there, but I feel like this is pointing to you guys taking a measured approach with it, especially with the Libra energy showing up right beneath that too, right? So having that passion, having that ability to take action, but also doing it in a very measured, discerning manner. So definitely a pretty good way to wrap things up there. Like I said, this alone could just point to what I was saying. You guys are going to have plenty of energy in Scorpio in November, which is your fifth house, which is the house Leo naturally rules. So you might just be feeling a lot more outgoing this month, but with a nice balance with that Libra energy there. So overall, looks like a pretty positive spread. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. So this is actually Major Arcana card for Gemini. And if we think about, you guys had some of the darker Gemini energy there, the Eight of Swords with the blindfold on, the Ten of Swords, and the Cetus at the bottom of the deck, right? Looks like the cloud's clearing, right? So I feel like this is saying that whatever the situation is, you guys are going to have some help behind the scenes that's actually going to help you see the overall reason why these things took place, and that's actually going to help free your mind a bit. And then we see that movement toward the Two of Cups energy on your side. So definitely looks like it'll be a nice clearing month for you. All right, moving on to your Oracle card, we have Regeneration. There's the artwork, and the number is 46. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, it says rebirthed, second chances, new opportunities. The Oracle's message: second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. So, in reading that made me look at this reading with a slightly different outlook too, which is to say, for some of you, this could be as simple as something took place during the retrograde. Like I said, we're pretty much just wrapping that up at the time I'm recording this. Maybe a situation might have gone awry during the Mercury retrograde. You might have thought, okay, this is totally ruined now. And then as we get through November, where that actual Mercury retrograde energy and the shadow period clear themselves out, you might actually be able to see it with a different set of eyes that actually makes you realize, okay, maybe the opportunity wasn't lost, right? Or again, maybe even something better is taking its place. The relationship message says the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. So definitely a pretty positive message there. Like I said, this didn't jump out immediately like a love reading, but we do see the Two of Cups there, the Page of Pentacles with the World card. If there was something along those lines that has been just out of your reach, it looks like it will be coming more your way this month. The prosperity message says, what happens when it appears you failed at something? Do you see the beauty in the lesson? The understanding that arises from difficulties is like a seed that lies dormant for a time. Then, once it germinates in your subconscious, it pushes through into your awareness. It is becoming apparent that there is a new you, a new start, a more powerful version and form of what you began to plant in the garden of your imagination has surfaced. You are ripe for success. New opportunities, much better than those that came before, appear, like gifts from the gods. Now is one of those times when you, out of seeming loss and failure, it says now is one of those times when out of seeming loss and failure comes remarkable abundance. Do not dwell on the past, because you really are experiencing a rebirth. So obviously pretty positive message there too. Like I said, a lot of this just makes me think of the fact that you guys are going to have a lot of energy going through your fifth house, which could definitely help you feel like you're a bit more back to life this month. So whatever is needed. All right, and lastly, we have a mudra for you. So this is your mudra here. It's the Apana mudra. The keyword for it is release. And there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot. But under benefits, it says general detoxifying effect on the body, improves elimination, reduces constipation, benefits the urinary bladder and uterus, regulates menstruation, clarifies the skin. So if you think that sounds like a mudra that would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of it in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.